Tell us about why you chose this program.
Well, I did a huge research project on all similar multi-age programs in the Tri-Valley, along with private school programs. My children were in private preschools, and my oldest was actually in a private kindergarten at that preschool. I did a whole list of criteria of what it needed to meet. It needed to be multi-age, it needed to have cooperative environment, I needed to know what values it was built on. And out of all of the programs in the Tri-Valley, I picked Pathways because of several factors. One being it was multi-age K through 3, which no other program runs. Two, it really has an emphasis on mutual respect, which no other program, when you ask or when they're talking about their talking points and their orientations, refer to that as a criteria or as a factor in how they're teaching the kids. There are lots of other ways that they do that. There are lots of other, there are other values that they teach, but not once did anyone mention respect, mutual respect for each other, for teachers, for other kids, any of that. This is the only program I've ever found to even put that as part of the curriculum. I think it's great, and I think having it built into the curriculum, and it's not like you sit down and have the kids sit down and talk about what respect is and how you do that. It is portrayed through everything you do.
From the very beginning.
From the very beginning, even before it was kind of completely created. And a lot of it had to do with, we had some of the ideas of maybe doing homeschooling or something extra besides the regular school program. And one of the things that attracted us to this was that it had the aspect of homeschooling to it, but it had the resources of the school district behind it. And that's a big difference because my fear with homeschooling was always that we're kind of off on our own, and the kids don't get the social aspect that they need. And it seemed to me that this had the best of both worlds, and it's proved to be true. It's really been. My kids are very different kind of learners, and by coming here, they've had what they need to. Each one has had their individual needs satisfied, so that's been kind of special. And certainly, the other thing that attracted me to the program was the parent participation part, where it wasn't just me dumping my kids at school in the morning and then checking how it went at the end of the day. Actively involved in the classroom every day, and knowing what's going on. I know all the other parents in the classroom, so I got a lot out of it myself. It's for my kids, of course, but I got a lot out of it too, and I was part of their education, more so than I can never imagine I will be in the future. And it's been a huge benefit to us as a family to have that really direct connection to the school that most parents don't get. And I've continued the connection, and I think that it's changed the way we do a lot of stuff as a family.
The biggest thing is independence. They kind of learn how to do things on their own or take ownership of whatever they were doing. Like for Kavya, she learned how to plan parties because you guys did so many parties and field trips here where you were planning the camping and parties to do in the classroom. So I think one year they said, okay, we're going to have a Easter party, and we said, okay, fine, plan it. So they planned every single thing for the games and who to call, what to have for food, and everything. And I think that came mostly from Pathways, and this was 3 years ago. So she was she was in second grade. That's when she did this, and this was after having experienced the Pathways program. So that's one of the independent thing. And a little bit of nurturing for little kids. I mean, having a little brother at home, they would always get into fights, but then she knows the difference in Pathways. She was supposed to take care of kids, or it wasn't even supposed to. They just learned that they're the older kids, so they teach the first year. They take them around in the classes from class to class. So they learned the nurturing part and teaching part, or how to handle little kids, how to be with little kids, and how. So that's one thing that they got really. And the other things with the field trips. I know I couldn't take them to so many field trips as a parent on my own, because one thing, I wouldn't know all the fun places, and the second one is it's a job to get them out on a weekend. So from the Pathways program, 20 field trips one of the years we did, that's crazy. I can't do it on my own. So that was fun, and each one was fun, but educative at the same time.
If you have an idea as a parent of something you want to do, something you want to bring to the entire program, run with it. Go out, get the research, get everything you need, talk to the teachers, schedule some time in the day, and get that done.
We still, the kids and I, all think of ourselves as pathways. You know, even it's something which I don't think you're ever not part of pathways when you're doing it for so long. And all the other parents I know in school, almost all of them are parents I've met through pathways. I mean, when you figure that there's all these kids in class, you meet all the parents, and you work with the parents directly too. It's not just the kids you're working with directly; you're working with the parents directly, and you develop a connection to those parents. It first of all starts from the fact that everyone who makes the commitment to pathways is making a huge commitment to their children, and so you've got a natural bond with people who are as committed to their kids' education and as you are, and so there's a natural connection. But also, obviously I've gotten to know them in ways that I wouldn't have otherwise, and in a kind of friendly and cooperative way. And you never can do that in a regular classroom. You see them when you're dropping your kids off and picking them up, but you don't really know the parents, the other parents. This way we do.